going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a break from the duties and I'm back on a Mustang that I actually had to replace the motor back in 2019 when it had 1,000 miles on it. Wow, what a $40,000 warranty claim that was. But we have no AC. Can you imagine? I don't know if you guys are having this problem, but good thing I had this DP650 coming at you. Let's check out why we're here. Let's go, guys. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Coming back with some Mustang stuff. Not too often I get different vehicles other than my beloved platform, the Ford Superduty, but a lot of my Superduty customers wind up having some race cars, or a lot of my older clientele have vehicles that they like to roll in the summer and have me do the maintenance winter and fall or spring, and you know what I'm talking about. So we have this client back and we have a concern of no AC. Now I have verified that, verified customer concern. It's blowing hot, trust me. But I'm gonna hook up the AC machine because I'm gonna have to evacuate it and check some other things that we're gonna go over with, because I don't know if a lot of you Mustang guys have issues with the AC, but I've put a couple of compressors on, one of which was at the dealership, and this one got 14,000 miles on it, so he hasn't gotten a whole hell of a lot more driving on it since we've worked on it when we put the motor in it. So I wish I had, let me look, I think I got some pictures of them right here. Here's the Mustang all tore apart. Got the front end all taken apart. And then here it is with the cherry picker. And what's really funny about this is, obviously this is a manual transmission, and I had to take the transmission out in order to take the engine out. So that was one of the things that I had to go through when taking this out. Here's the old engine, new engine together. Ford did not want me to take it apart at all. They wanted me to leave it how it was and pretty much ship the engine back to them. So here it is going back in, and the guy was super cool. Customer on the outside, and has been pretty cool. So that brings us back to here, R134A, machine turned on, porties. We got the high side port right here. Let's get this guy on. Let's go this way. Put the coupler down on it so I'm not messing up the angulation of my hose. Okay, let me go get my under hood light. Right now we have some illuminations. Low side port down over here. Save your ports, por favor. And the low side going on, one-handing it. Maybe it would be best if I used the right hand. Possibly. There we go. Yeah, I got firm coupling lock. Come on, screw on. Yeah, it's on now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay. She's on. Let's suck out, if anything. In fact, let me do this really quick, because my repair area is going to be right here. Is it going to make that big of a difference? I'll just go underneath this one, because I don't want to be in that area. All right, down. By golly, does that happen to you guys? I think Is this thing on or what? All right, I manipulated this front. That's fine. I'm all right with that. Let's see, do we have any pressure at all? Oof, just barely. Let's go ahead and recover. No. Yep. All right, so while this is doing this, yeah, we have just a tiny bit. No. All right, now we're clearing. The repair area down over here, let's get some of this tore apart and really see what we have going on. I got a couple of, I have a couple of bolts that I'm gonna need to be taking out right here on the Deee gas bottle. Now, if you guys can slowly pay attention with me, I apologize. I know this is not a Superduty worthy video, but nevertheless, we're gonna drop some Mustang stuff on you. All right, pulling out these 210s. I mean, it's kind of like these 210s and I have history, you know? We've been places. Now this splitter is gonna kind of block me, but what we have is two hoses on this side and a hose that's coming from that side, so that's gonna allow us to do something kind of like this. Just get this bottle completely out of the way, and now we have a giant gaping hole going down into the engine by the crank, by the AC compressor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this camera right here. All right, so thankfully I had this Depth Tech 6500. I had to turn this puppy on. Oh, I got to hold it. Pretty cool little tool. Let me go over here. I think I just turned it off. Yep, there we go. Okay, we have a couple of lights on the end. And what's even better is we got this little knob. Look at that. Hello! Let's go ahead and see which way are we going. It's upside down, so let's change the upside downness. There we go. So there's the oil fill cap. I'm pointing right at that. So I'm gonna go down to the AC compressor. Try to find the lines. Oh, there it is right there. We have this line that's leaking right here. Check it out. You guys can see me pan in there. There's the AC line. Let's see if I can zoom in here for you. There we go. I mean, sometimes it's really good to have things like this, because then it helps with the teardown and trying to determine what exactly is leaking. Let's see if we can go up. Okay, looking at the line. Come over here. So you gotta rotate it. See how far we can go. Can we go right to that nut? Go around the corner. It's very rigid, but it's definitely going where we need. How about if we go, oh, there we go, that's a better angle. Oh, wow, look at that. Right there. Can I get closer to it? Not really. Not really. There it is, there's my leak point. So what I'm gonna do, thankfully, I was doing this when it was hot, and I had this, because if I was gonna start tearing this thing down when it was hot, that was gonna be a real pain in the gizzard. So we're gonna put this awesome tool down. I'm gonna put the link in the description for this, because not only did you see the camera that I just showed you, but we can also, where is it? Hold on, right here. I can take a picture. I can turn the lights, one tap, brighter, brightest, off, and then, let's see, holding, okay, I'm recording now. There's a little cord up there. All right, what if I hit the back button? Okay, flipping it. There's the dual camera. All right, so there's the side camera. Here's the front camera. And it's gonna go just to the side camera. And then back to the front. So if you guys are interested in checking this out, make sure to check out the description. Gosh, this has gotta be almost done. Pop these lines off. Let me take this electrical connector off. Got the AC pressure transducer. That, I believe, came with the new line. Reading tank weight. All right, hold on. Oh, are we done now? Oh, see, we pulled out just a little. All right, we got some. We got some. We got some. All right. Take this one off at least, because this is just going to be one line we're going to replace. Saw the crimp down here looking a little snotty too. One connection right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you? Maybe? There we go. Yep. Okay, these are always usually 13s. I've only seen them different ones like on like C-Maxes and the Transit it's got a small 10 mil up here. We are going to have the same connection down at the compressor too. All right, let's see. Got this nut off. Put it right by the port covers. Get some more slack in this blue hose for me. I think I'm gonna have to kneel down for this one. Let's see if we have any room over here. This is gonna be kind of tight. Let's see if I can show you guys where I'm gonna have to go. Right there. Right back there under that tab. I think what I'm gonna try to use, let's see if I can put you down here. This is gonna kind of suck. Let's see, what kind of illumination should I use? What's gonna be the best plan of attack? All right, I have some illumination. I think that area is gonna work. Now, could I use that 13 I just had? I am a fan of this setup right here. This medium deep and this long ratchet. Let's see if I can sneak this over one of the lines, break it loose. If I can break it loose, and I'll stick my hand down in there. Okay, I'm on it. I'm turning it. Trying to, but my light moved. You know, that's just the thing about these lights is you put them wherever you can, and they never stay where you want. I need to invent my own light manufacture company, because when you're having a hard day, or you're struggling with something, and you guys hear that noise? I'm like, what in the? I just don't have any more swinging room. Let's see if I can get my big old paw in here. But that's the last thing you want to deal with is a light that's like flopping out of the way. It's like, come on, dude. All right, let's switch over to a small one maybe. All right, I think I got it loose enough. Let's see if I can manhandle this line off. Yep. Okay, she's got the nut loose. Come on, puppy. Come on. the line was cheap. Instead of, I know you guys are probably wondering, like, well, why are you gonna put a line on? Well, if I gotta take this off to put a gasket on it, it's just gonna get a new line. So some of you may or may not agree with that, but that's what I deem appropriate. However, you know, if this thing was leaking at the gasket, I feel it's more wet as it's coming out of this line. Yeah. From here up is dry. I don't know. I think the actual line is freaking leaking right there. Looks kind of pitted in there. All right, well, let me get the new line. I'm surprised it came with a sensor, let alone the price of it. I was pretty impressed. Okay, new line. Here's the part number in case you guys are wondering. Right there. I'm gonna go ahead and tear the tag off because I can't stand having tags of new parts on as I'm putting them in the vehicle. All right, tag off. High side port cover off. Okay. So this is basically a curly Q just like that. I'm gonna put it back in the exact same way. That's what I am trying to emphasize to young man right now, is I should already know what you're doing because you're doing the same thing every single time, you know? And repeat that process over and over, you know, repetitiveness, you'll get good at stuff, but I want you to be on point and do the same thing every single time. Now, I'm going to use an analogy. You guys might say, hey, you know, this is kind of not needed, but my old man was a Depression-era baby. I got smacked around, I got cussed at, I got talked to in not a good fashion, and he told me several times, you know, we'd say something, we'd break something, or push my brother into the glass or something. How did this get broken? I don't know. Go ask the next kid. I don't know. Go ask the next kid. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Maybe it was the guy across the street. Hindsight, after hearing this and thinking about it later in life, it's kind of funny because I joke around about it, but, you know, I was thinking my dad was being, a DICK. So he tells me, doing the same thing over and over, you wipe your ass the same way every single time, all right? You don't do something different. You don't do swirls. You don't do some handstand wipe. You do the same thing every single time. Something as simple as that. I want you all to grasp that concept. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Think about how you're doing it. You're doing the same thing every time. Got that lean going, hear that seat creak. It's the same thing every single time. When I ask you to do a job, I want you to do it the same way every single time. I cannot emphasize to you enough. My mentor did that to me on the platform that you're working on. The foundation. You need that foundation or your whole tower is going to be... So, I digress. Do the same thing every single time. If you want to stray away from your normality, I just made that up. That's good. Good for a change up. But when we're doing engine repairs and your cleanliness and the way you've taken things apart and all of this, hey, I want you to do it the same way every single time. That's all I ask. All I ask. And be truthful, you know? Be truthful. I thought you guys responded very positively to the video that I made regarding Customer X, which I appreciate you guys for all your positivity and understanding. Okay, we're tightening bottom nut. Looks like it was better to use a shorty ratchet, quarter drive. Give it one more push. Oh yeah, we're tight. How about we get that 13 up top, and we'll be able to put our high side line connection back on. Oh yeah. Okay, let's put our electrical connector on before we forget that, because that's something stupid I would do. No pun intended. SA. No pun intended. All right, come back here, put that same little jolly connector back on. Okay, grab my light. All right, come back over here. Now we need to put this into a vacuum. A lot of people think that the machine just pushes refrigerant into the car. Well, that's kind of not how it works. Sorta, but not. This has to pull the vehicle down into a vacuum, okay? We gotta pull a low pressure, which is a vacuum, into the system. And I say that because you're gonna understand here in a second. All right, I'm gonna do 5 minutos. Okay, once this pulls it down into a vacuum, it's gonna hold it. And there are valves inside of this machine that is going to allow refrigerant to flow into the vehicle. Now, when that door opens, that vacuum that's in the system is gonna, I can't put what I just made into words, but it's gonna draw in all of the refrigerant, and there is a scale in here. I remember my mentor, you'd be sitting here, you're waiting for, the car, you're doing this, well, be using the machine, he'd get off the machine. There's a scale in here, and as it pushes, I'm sorry, see, I screwed it up. As it gets drawn into the vehicle, the scale knows how much is leaving the tank. It does a math calculation and tells you that you are putting in 1.5 pounds. So that's kind of how that works. And we're gonna wait for this vacuum process to complete. Vacuum completed. All right, we're at 30 inches. We've been sitting here for about 5 minutes now. I had to step away and came back and it was still on 30. So now we're gonna go over to charge. Go ahead and hit charge. Nope, we're not using electricity oil for the AC system. Electric focus, that was the only one I ever had to do, EV focus. All right, we're gonna need a full 1.5 pounds. 150. We don't want kilograms, we don't want ounces. It straight up says poundage. All right, pounding. Okay, purging that excess air. Now we're gonna go into that phase where the vacuum that's been sitting in here is now gonna go and draw all this out of the machine. So here we go. Check how fast it's going in. Oh yeah. Just eating it. Now, rule of thumb, as this is going, I say rule of thumb, you gotta err with caution and use common sense, but the rule of thumb is when you have a good AC system, these gauges, just sitting ambient temperature, I don't have the vehicle on, should be pretty freaking close. If you got one gauge that's and one gauge that's low, you have something going on in the AC system, whether it's the TXV, which I believe is right back here in that little connection. That is where the AC goes through into the vehicle. So that's going to modulate the pressures, and I believe on here the fixed orifice tube is in there, and that's going to be the device that changes it from the state of matter, from a liquid to a gaseous state. Almost. Come on, give me that 150. Give me that 150. Don't touch the machine. Don't touch the machine. No, I don't need a snapshot. Press continue to equalize. All right, so I'm gonna disconnect these hoses. And let's go ahead and do this one. At least this wasn't the one going through the firewall. Okay, let's hit equalizing hoses. Gonna suck out all of those. Or gonna suck out all the pressure out of these two hoses. I can't tell you how many times I would go to use the machine at the dealer and the ding-dong who used them before you didn't evacuate the hoses, and now I have to go through the recover process to start the next AC cycle because I can't get the pressure out of the hoses any other way. So that's kind of nice being able to just use this machine myself and not have to worry about anybody else using it. All right, there we go. Getting it out. Fully charged, everything is out of the hoses. Try to keep my screen protected. Let's go ahead and put our caps back on. High side. Just kidding. Low side. Low side, low siding. Sweet. All right, now one last step. Let me put the light back down in here. I want to get rid of this stuff with brake clean, the green nasty. Let me see if you guys can check out the repair area. Let's see if that does anything for you. That's right where it was, right there. I'm gonna kind of spray off any green that happens to be in here, just so that I don't have any remnants of AC guck. All right, do yourself a favor and visit rainmanauto.com and get yourself a cute little 4-pack of Denko Brake Clean. The best out. We use it all day, every day, and it leaves no oily films and is VOC compliant, which, tell me who cares about that? Take my light. Don't want to forget that. Can't say how many times I have done that. Coolant bottle coming at you. Make sure the little titty's in the hole, and our screws, our 10 milli bolts, 10 milli coming at you. Make sure it's on Titan, Junior. Make sure it's on Titan, Junior. Don't be loosening this stuff while we're tightening it. Freaking goofball. All right. I think that now requires us to verify the repair. Oh boy, 14K. Started. Let's listen to that exhaust. Vehicle on. Exhausting. AC. Oh, I didn't even do anything. It's on. Okay. That seems ice cold. Let's make sure that compressor is spinning. Whoop! And then I would say we are gonna be good to go. Let's see, is it spinning? Is it spinning? Let there be light. That's what I want. And let there be AC, because now we're leak free. We're leak free. I appreciate you guys so much for coming back and checking me out. Even though we're not working on a Superduty, it's still a Ford vehicle. Kind of my second platform that I like working on. That pretty much is it. If you guys are looking to get in to the shop, let me know. Email and phone numbers in the beginning of this video. Information on where it's at is in the description of every video. If you want to get into the Photoshop, same thing. Email me or call me. Phone number's on the screen. I appreciate you guys. Remember to like, comment, sub, share. Until next time, Superduty's Mustangs out.